Hi. So this will be kind of like a less edited or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I'm just like gonna talk about some stuff today. Something. So things have been going very well for me. I don't know why. I don't know how, but well. So basically, I play video games as I mentioned before, and I have two controllers. So one I bought for my birthday, and the second I bought for my sister's birthday. I have a younger sister, and my plan was to play video games with her. And the funny thing is that when I bought it for her, she started crying like, I don't want this gift, this is a bad gift, please never gift me this again. But the thing is that we have come to love playing with each other on the controllers. Like, having two controllers just opens up so much more possibility for fun, because there are so many video games that you can play with two controllers. I used to just give her the controller and play on keyboard myself, but as you can imagine, that's not that much fun. So now we have two controllers and we can just hang out and have fun. And in my hostel, my occasionally my room will just turn into a gaming den where people will just come. I have two keyboards, like two external keyboards, one keyboard on the laptop itself, two controllers, and a mouse and a touchpad. So it leads us to like just hang around and play video games, like co-op video games. And I have a bunch of co-op video games. So but the problem was that when I was coming to hostel last time, the controller broke. It broke just at the right time. So when I was leaving home, but since it broke, I couldn't really invite people to play video games, because it would be me on the keyboard and someone else on the controller. And recently I've been wanting to play Baldur's Gate 3 on a co-op with my friend. But for whatever reason, also there's people playing cricket outside. If you didn't know, cricket is like the biggest sport in India. Like, people go mad over cricket. But anyways, so that controller broke. And Baldur's Gate 3 needs to have two controllers to be able to be for you to be able to play. I'm so sorry, I'm just lost how English works. But basically, you need two controllers to play Baldur's Gate 3 on couch co-op. And obviously I only had one. But I had been like, my friend like kind of asked me, why don't you try and repair it? And I was like, I have never, because as I've mentioned before, I'm very much into software. And I grew up with computers. I know how to fix them when it comes to the software. But when it comes to the hardware side of things, I'm so bad at it. Like, I'm always very nervous. I never ever want to open anything. It's just a nightmare for me. Like, I never want to mess with the physical stuff. But I was like, okay, this controller, I'm going to buy a new one anyways, so let's just try and fix this one. Even if it breaks down, nothing will happen. And after like 2 hours, we finally managed to fix it. I am in shock. The thing is that I diagnosed the problem immediately. Like, when the controller first stopped working, I looked at my sister and I said, the wire is probably not working. There's some issue with the wire. And I was 100% correct. Is it a bit of luck? Maybe. But as I said, I've grown up with computers. I know how they behave sometimes. And I could just tell that it's the wire that was the problem. And even to my friend, I was like, we probably will need to replace the wire. And after some testing out, which he did, we did figure out that the wire was the problem. I did the disassembly and assembly of the controller. He did the soldering and desoldering of the wires. Huge thanks to him. Without him, this would have been a hell for me to just fix, but he did it. And yeah, I found like a few. So I have a lot of like unused cables in my room. So I just picked up like two or three of them. And we started cutting the cables one by one, which was very terrifying for me. But after we cut the first cable, and it wasn't the proper cable that we wanted. You need four wires inside a cable, but there was only one. I cut another one and it had, thankfully, so we just used that one. So now my controller works. This was me first time fixing something, or rather me helping him to fix something electronic and physical. Usually and the funny thing is that after that I have promised him to help with his 3D printer or whatever. Like, he asks me for help for his 3D printer all the time, because of the for the software sides of things. Because for whatever reason he just doesn't believe that he can do it, which I don't believe. Which is also funny, because he also thinks that I can easily handle this stuff, like the hardware side of things. But I just cannot. But as I said, this ramble will be like I think short. I just want to put out something because I haven't done in a long time. I had been replying to someone on Reddit, and I was like, putting that in my YouTube or whatever doesn't feel really right. It feels like I'm using them for like views or whatever. So I decided not to. So yeah, I had this stuff to talk about, so I wanted to put this out. So this is happening. I have been playing on emulator. I have mentioned this before that I play Pokemon on emulator now, and for whatever reason, I play on RetroArch. So RetroArch is basically like an hub for all emulators. So if you have a RetroArch, you can download these things called cores, and cores are for different platforms. So basically, you can play GBA, you can play N64. You can download those cores and RetroArch will run them for you. Now RetroArch has a feature which is shaders and overlays. Basically what you can do is you can put overlays on top of your whatever you're playing. So for example, if you're playing Pokemon, right, you can put a GBA border around it, so it will basically show the GBA controller or whatever. Obviously that's very cute and I wanted to have that, but the problem was that uh, the RetroArch is kind of a like UI interface wise, it's very difficult to configure. So I just spent like hours finding a good GBA shader, like a good GBA border. I couldn't find one, so I'm planning to make one today myself, so that when I'm playing a Pokemon on my phone, it looks like I'm playing it on a GBA. It will look cool. I'll show. Also, I've made my Baldur's Gate 3 character. I will post the photos on my, because it's not allowed in Kilo Talk Audio, which is what I usually post my audio on. I'll post it on my own subreddit. I have a subreddit. I don't really mention it that much because it's just there more like an archiving thing. Like you don't need to don't feel pressured to join it because I don't really care how many people are there. Obviously, if you want to join, feel free to. But everything there will also be somewhere else. It's just stuff like this, like a photo of my character, for example, right? That I can't really um, post on Pillow Talk Audio, for example, or Gone Wild Audio, because it's not allowed there. So I just put it on that subreddit, or if I have some update about myself or something. A lot of people do it on their own, like user, like they basically post it on their community. I found the subreddit, so I thought it would be good to have that. But yeah, what else? So yeah, I have. Oh yeah, I missed Inktober. Like I missed a few days of it, so I will need to go back and do that. I also encouraged my sister to do like a few days of Inktober, so she should be doing that right now. What else? What else? Yeah, as I said, this will be mostly. Oh yeah, I'm now upgrading my hard disk. So after I did that, he also talked to me about like hard disk and stuff. I was planning to buy a hard disk of like 1 terabyte or something, but after a bit of research, I found that this it's basically the same price as buying a normal uh, buying an SSD. And if you don't know, the hard disk, I was planning on buying an external hard disk. So it's basically a massive pen drive. But instead of that, I can now buy an SSD. Now SSD is basically so basically your computer has a hard disk inside the body, and usually they are HDD. HDD is basically a physical kind of like it's basically a hard disk, right, which has physical components in it. SSD was a kind of revolution in storage a few years back. It's the biggest technological innovation in gaming, because and the reason is that SSDs don't have any moving components in it, and that allows the SSD to transfer information much faster, like magnitudes faster. And what this allows is for games to run very fast. So Baldur's Gate 3 was running very badly on my PC, and I realized after some researching that it's because of my HDD, because my SSD is very small, like it is 128 gigabytes, and the game itself is 124 gigabytes, and I can't run that obviously because I don't have any space left. Mainly because I mean, even if I consider that I haven't installed Windows on my SSD and other softwares, if you install an SSD, it automatically cuts a bit of a space for whatever reason. So 128 gigabytes is actually in my PC listed as 118 gigabytes. So I wouldn't be able to run it anyways, 117 actually. But yeah. So I decided to buy a SSD. So it's basically the same price as an hard disk, just a bit bit more expensive, and obviously I would have to replace it or get someone to replace it, which is scary for me. It's like getting a surgery done for me. It's the same, like my laptop, I by the way, my gamer tag everywhere is Medusa. And I shouldn't really be saying this because this is like the word that I use to my real life friends, but my laptop is also named Medusa. And I love my laptop so much, like anything happens to it, I will just cry. And that's why, like, getting anything done on my laptop feels like a surgery. Like, I do not want my laptop to be touched like that. But yeah, so I will try to upgrade this again. This whole morning I just spent the like researching so much about my laptop's motherboard and hard disk and all that. And I think I figured out which kind of SSD I can buy and replace. I've talked to my parents also about because it's quite a expensive expense. I think it's about $10 or something in US, but it must be like up or down, I don't know really. But so yeah, $10, is it correct? I think it's correct. It's like close to that. Wait, let me actually check, just in case. I don't remember. Like the conversion I'm using is from 3 years ago or something. Not even three. Like, okay, I was way off. Oh wow, I was way off. Not just because not just because of conversion, but because I'm just stupid. Wait. 50. 60. Okay, so $60, not $60 actually. Let's say $70. Yeah, so close to $70, not $10. Okay, I knew that sounded wrong, but anyways, close to $70 is the SSD that I'm looking at. And yeah, let's see. I talked to my uncle also, who is like a computer dealer or something. So yeah, things are going great. If things are not going great for you, I hope they do. It's kind of, I will talk about this someday, but I do feel I have this uh, I heard this somewhere. I don't remember where I heard this, but I have this thing called mom friend override, where I try to help my friends as much as possible. You know, whenever we go out or whatever, I try to be like the mature one, the responsible one, right? I don't know how to drive, so it's not like I can drive them when they are all drunk. But we are like college students; we don't drive anyways. But yeah, I do want to know. I do want you to know that if things are not going great, good for you, I wish I could do something about it. So please let me know if there's something you would love to hear. If there's something you would want me to do, I am completely open to help you in whatever way I can. I really would love to do that. So yeah, don't hesitate if you feel like there's something you would want to hear. Or if you would just want to make conversation or something, that I understand. If you're just if you don't want to talk, that's also fine. If you just want to lurk around, listen to my audios without letting me know or whatever, that's also completely fine. But yes, please let me know if there's something I can help you with. If there is something I can do for you, I will gladly do that. Anyways, I don't have anything else to talk about, but it's 13 minutes, so I'm just waiting for it to go to 14. I'm not a superstitious person. I don't believe in superstitions. I don't believe in a lot of things. But still, is it bad that I'm just waiting for, like, I would be, kind of. I used to be at least very harsh on people who would do things like this. That they would wait for the unlucky thing to go away, like not going under ladders or not breaking mirrors. But it doesn't hurt to um, it doesn't hurt to be safe. So it's about to be 14:14. I'll try to stop it there. So bye, and I wish you a great day.